I'm impressed. Yeah.
This is the way. This is the way you need. And some people say I'm actually discouraging. A lot of people criticize me for saying to people,
Another saying of Coach Greg, he actually said, I don't mock people. I don't mock or make fun of people if they are trying to do something, if they are trying to improve themselves. You actually encourage people to make their first step, right? To start something. You got to start somewhere, right?
yeah, I have a lot of respect for anyone that's trying to better themselves. And rather than comparing yourself to other people, compare yourself to yourself. Ask yourself, can I do better today than I did yesterday? Maybe yesterday you were tired, you didn't go to the gym, you didn't go for a walk, you didn't do your yoga. Today, can you do it? And then tomorrow say, can I do even better tomorrow? And if you keep trying that, in a year or two from now, you will be shocked at how much you got better. That 15-minute bike that I did where I was out of breath, and remember, I'm a bodybuilder, I'm thinking I'm super fit. Wow, 15 minutes on a bike, I was exhausted. But a year later, I could do an hour, and I look back and I'm like, I can't believe how much in better shape I am now than I was back then. It's incredible.
Just be better version of yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people, right?
Yes, exactly. Because you're always going to find somebody much better looking, taller, smarter, more money than you are. So rather than worrying about them, worry about yourself. Don't care about those people. Just compare yourself to yourself, and you'll always be happy because you can always work on yourself.
Yeah. And also Coach Greg told me his story. Like, he was once a cheerleader.
Oh, absolutely. I loved it.
Because I was impressed that pro like him can actually humble himself and stand in the shoes of the general public and think what they think, feel what they feel.
I know what it's like to be made fun of. I was a power cheerleader. So I'm a cheerleader in university, and I'm also doing aerobics. And so back then, I remember I'm about 158 years old. Back then, people made fun of you. They would call you gay, make fun of you, tease you for doing these things. I'm like, I don't give a shit what people think of me. And so I just did what made me happy. I'm like, I want to try aerobics and I want to do cheerleading. These are all fun things for me. I want to try yoga. Maybe there wasn't many guys that did it, but I didn't care what people think. And so as soon as you stop caring what other people say about you, your life is going to get so much better.
Yeah, I think that's a true confidence, right? If you're confident enough, you don't really care about what other people are saying. The second question I want to ask is for the people overworked and they are not well, right? Like we say, mentally fit.
Stressed out.
Yes, we need to mentally and physically health. I want to ask Coach Greg, do you think body-mind connection exercise is better for those people?
I think that's a great exercise, and it's actually underrated. I think I've done some yoga, hot yoga, and these things completely relax the body, and they're very physically demanding. So you might think people are going to make fun. You do yoga? I go to the gym, I lift weights. You do yoga? Or I do Pilates? Think these things can be extremely difficult and very challenging on the body and relieve stress both physically and mentally. You're burning calories, you're getting away from your job or your studies, and you're taking time for yourself, and that time for yourself is extremely important. So I think it's a great thing to do. I highly recommend all of you give it a try. If you haven't tried it, get out there and try it and see for yourself. You don't know how hard it is until you give it a try.
Yeah, and in my country, we do have like same thing, like body-mind connection workout. Do you know Tai Chi?
My old phys ed teacher used to do it. I used to watch him do it between classes as kind of a relaxation thing for him. I personally have never tried, but I used to watch him do it.
Yeah, like nowadays we have another trend of, it's called the eight brackets. It's like a traditional Chinese Qigong with a long history. It aims to promote your physical health, boost your strength, and balance energy, and also enhance your mental well-being with series of fluid movement with regulated breathing.
There's certain breathing, breathing techniques added to movement. Of course, you're being physical, you're concentrating. It's certainly going to relax you.
Yes.
There's so many ways to improve the body. I just wish people would give them a try. People just sit there and they get stuck on Netflix or they get on their phones and they swipe left or right all the time and they forget about being better people. They just get mindlessly scrolled on the internet. And I don't know, there's nothing that we can really do about it because there's such a dopamine release when you release and you just watch TikTok videos all day long.
Yes,
and you kind of get stuck in a hole.
That's how you get addicted, right?
Absolutely. People are addicted. I'm addicted to this phone. It's very difficult to get away from it. That's why I put it down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to train now. I'm going to go exercise. I'm going to ride my bike and then just enjoy myself.
Yes. I once did the self-discipline live video. Do you know what that is?
Self-discipline like video? I do not.
A self-discipline lie video.
Lie.
Lie.
Oh, no, I'm not aware.
So in that video, I was telling my story. I thought self-discipline is like force yourself to eat, healthy food. I want to have the ideal body in other people's eyes. I want to, reach the beauty standard because I want to get more likes on my Instagram.
Of course. So much pressure for this. Everyone in the world knows what this is like.
Yeah, I want to get more likes. I want people's compliment.
Right.
So I just being so harsh on myself. I stopped eating whatever I like. I just eat chicken breast and broccoli and whatever, the healthy food that people think. And I forced myself because I was a theater actress. After 8 hours of rehearsal, I go back home. I went straight to the gym and I did like 2 hours workout. And I was like, I lost 18 pounds, but then I diagnosed with binge eating disorder and light depression and anxiety. So I want to say I was a victim of self-discipline. I mean, that was kind of self-torture, but I bet a lot of people, they have the same experience because under my video, I got a lot of comments saying, "Oh, I experienced the same thing. I trying to be perfect. And I did a lot of workout and I strict my diet, but in the end, I got the worst result and I became like mentally ill and physically ill. So I stopped everything. I just stopped because I step in the gym. I literally want to throw up because I saw the, dumbbell and I smelled the order of the gym. I just want to throw up at that time. And I have the, PTSD. And then I stopped. So I started eating carbs and sugar and fruit. And I started doing whatever the workout I like. I started going to do the pole dance and aerial yoga, aerial hoop, and my body back in shape. And I stayed in 128 pounds for almost 6 years. Never changed. And I feel better, like I feel very good. I feel very well. No matter it's my mentally and physically, I feel great. So I kind of want Coach Greg to redefine self-discipline, this word.
So what you described is way more common than people think, and it affects both men and women. Back in the old days, it was more so women, but today it's unrealistic beauty standards for men and women. Like men have to look like He-Man or Hercules, all the muscles with like abs, and girls have to be so thin or with big bums, and it's just impossible to look like. So people are trying to eat and exercise in such a way so that they can look like that, but they'll never look like that. Because even the pictures that we're comparing ourselves to are photoshopped, and they take 100 photos and they post the best one. So we'll never be perfect. And so the problem starts by comparing yourself to other people. You need to compare yourself to yourself. And when you take on a diet that you don't like, that somebody gives to you, and you have to rely on willpower, it's not going to work because no matter what, willpower will run out one day.
Yes.
You can't have it forever. So you need to have a diet that you not only like, but that you love, that you can follow forever. And so if you're on a diet, and this diet is lasting 2 months, 3 months, and you have a time limit, it's not going to work.
Right.
Because it's temporary. It's like saying, if I go on this exercise program, I'm going to lift weights for 3 months. I'm going to the gym twice a day. And then the coach is yelling at you, do it. After 3 months, then what? And then you're going to give up.
Yes.
And then you're going to compare yourself and say, I'm a failure. I didn't do it. And the coach might say, it's your fault because you didn't do it. You didn't stick to the diet of the chicken and the broccoli and the rice, the whole thing. So you need to take realistic approaches to health and fitness. Do things that you can do. Write down a list. What can I actually commit to? Can I exercise twice a week? Don't say 7 days a week if you know it's 2. Be honest with yourself.
Yes.
Do a diet that you can follow. And let's do this together right now. Close your eyes right now and imagine your dream physique, the best body in the world. Now open it up. You're not getting it. You're never going to look like that.
Yes.
Realistic goals. Halfway there. I keep saying it, halfway there. You have 100 pounds to lose. That's a lot. Lose 50. Half of it. You can do that. And then once you lose the 50 pounds, then you can say, was that enough? And if not, well, maybe you want to lose another 50. Halfway there again, 25 pounds more. So you always set something realistic that you can approach. You might not be able to be perfect. You probably can't. How many people can be the best in the world? One. Are you going to be that person? Very difficult. So set realistic goals, realistic diets, realistic training approaches, and just do your best and be happy.
I'm impressed. Yeah.
This is the way. This is the way you need. And some people say I'm actually discouraging. A lot of people criticize me for saying to people, you're telling people you can't get your dream physiques. You're telling people to only go for half of the goals. I'm like, yeah, but you can get there.
You're telling the truth. I mean, in my country, we have like a old sayings like 不积跬步，无以至千里. It means one step at a time.
Yes.
And you can walk for
Yes.
1,000 miles.
Exactly.
Something like that.
And from a saying I always think about is reach for the stars and you might reach the moon. I'm like, no, I'm going to reach for the moon and reach the moon.
Yes.
If I want to land on the moon, I'm landing on the moon. I'm not going to aim for the stars and hope I get halfway there. Because if your goal is to lose 100 pounds and you're like, I'm going to do it. I can't wait. I'm going to be the best bodybuilder. I'm going to be so strong. And then you train for a year and you only get halfway there, you're going to be like, I failed.
Yes.
You're going to feel like a failure, even though you did amazing. I've coached so many people, they want to lose 100 pounds and they lose 40 and they're disappointed. I'm a failure. I'm like, you lost 40 pounds. You know how many years longer you're going to live? Do you know how much better you look and feel right now? But they're discouraged and they want to give up. I'm like, celebrate the accomplishments that you've done. Don't put yourself down for not being perfect. That's the problem people have all the time.
That's the thing. A lot of people, they set unrealistic goals, right?
Absolutely.
And they want to change 100%. And I said that in one of my video. There's a book. It's called 5% of Change. I think that's translated in English. It's like people, they always set up a goal. Like they want to, complete 100%. But because they set up the goal, they will always disappointed by themselves. They always like get upset because they just can't. They just can't reach the goal.
Yeah.
So I think what Coach Greg says about willpower, right? So if you're using your willpower to do the dietary plan, to do the fitness plan, you will always think that's an extra burden, that's an extra job for you.
Yeah.
Like after a long day of work, you have another job to do. I think that's what people often
They might have
think.
to raise kids after getting home from work, and eventually they're going to maybe have some chips, and they're going to be, I ate chips. I cheated on my diet. I'm a loser.
Yes.
Well, you have to give yourself a break. Nobody can eat perfectly all the time, and having balance in your life allows you to do some of those things. Maybe you go and exercise 6 days a week. You make a day off. Maybe it's 3 days a week. You take 4 days off. As long as it's better than you're doing right now, you are a winner. You're doing better.
Yes.
Better is winning.
As long as you're getting better of the version of your yesterday. How to say that? Like you're
Better
getting
today than yesterday.
Better today.
Tomorrow than today.
Yes, better today than yesterday. You are already won, right?
And I think it's important to point out, not just physically. Like people always think, I'm going to improve my body. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to lose this. There's other ways to improve mentally, socially, spiritually. Like get better friends. Cut out the toxic people in life. Maybe you have a friend that's toxic, that's tearing you down, that's just not a good person. You don't need to be friends with that person. There's other people. There's 1.4 billion people in your country
out there.
You might have 5 or 6 good friends. What if one of those is not a great friend? Find another one. There's 1.4 billion people.
Yes,
you probably haven't even met your best friend yet. They're somewhere out there.
With a better person, right?
Exactly. Go out and meet people, explore the world, have fun.
So you mentioned about the mentally fit. Like we mentioned that a lot of times. I read a research from United States, and they was kind of. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. I want to ask your opinion. They were kind of saying the exercise or the traditional exercise from East Asia is actually in another level of the workout or fitness in Western world, because our exercise normally is body-mind connection exercise, like yoga from India, like the traditional Tai Chi or the 8 brackets from China, and meditation from India, right? Like those kind of workout is kind of body-mind connecting. So with regulated breathing and mindfulness guidance, do you think that kind of so the expert in the United States, like they did the research, they found this kind of fitness or this kind of workout is actually better for the people that are overworked, or for the people they have mental issues.
Honestly, I think it could be better for everyone, and here's why I think this. if you ask any bodybuilder, workout person, the guys with the amazing physiques, perhaps males or females, they look incredible. And you say, do you like your body? They're going to say, no. My stomach is too big, my hips aren't there, and my legs have fat and I have cellulite over here, and my chest isn't this way, and I need to lose weight. And that's people who look amazing. They're maybe a 9 out of 10. They're already super good looking, but they're not happy. So they keep working on themselves, but to no avail. There's no end sight and goal. The more you've improved, the more you want to improve. No one ever is essentially happy. But if you think of somebody who's doing yoga and they're out there just doing their breathing and they're working on their body, their health, and their fitness, but they don't have a specific like appearance that needs to be perfect. When you have focus,
ideal body.
Yeah, when you focus on the ideal body as the most important thing, you are never going to be happy because there is no ideal. There is no perfection. There's no one perfect. I don't care who you are, you're not going to look at your body and think it's perfect. So rather than that, if you focus on your inside, because this is just the exterior shell that we're walking around in. You might have a bad elbow, you might be not tall enough, you're overweight. But inside, the mental health, that mental wellness that goes on is so much more important. As long as you can, get your 150 minutes of cardio, eat healthy, and do the best you can, better than yesterday. But you don't have to be perfect. That's somebody that's truly healthy, truly well.
I think that's why they're saying like the exercise, the body-mind connection exercise from East Asia is like in another level. So I think what there means mental wellness and what you said, spiritual.
Mental, I always say mental and spiritual and social, physical. Like I find there's 4 aspects of it because a lot of people negate, like I'm not super religious, but a lot of people have religion is very important, the relationship with God. If you're not healthy in that sense, then that can make you feel sad or detract from your mental health. So there's all those little aspects that they all combine together for one overall feeling of your body.
So improved overall well-being.
Absolutely.